Hi everyone, I'm Needlecraft Danny. This is flosstube number 121, and I'm finally back after 3 weeks. I said it would be one. I don't know if you can still hear it. I feel like I can still hear it. I got sick, and I got really sick. It started basically the first Sunday or the Sunday before I wanted to come back for a video, and yeah, I still struggle with it. I'm still not completely healthy once again, so yeah, that's a bit annoying. But I'm back. I'm finally able to actually do a video. I'm going to show you all the projects I stitched on, and I'm going to talk about what exactly happened with my voice during that video. But I thought I would start right away with my projects because it's been a long time since I showed you anything. And I'm really sorry about that, but just life sometimes happens and sometimes you get sick and you can't really do anything about it. It wasn't COVID, lucky me, but it was still a very nasty flu basically, and yeah, I wasn't able to come back. But let's get started with my projects. And as always, I start with my travel project, which basically means it's my project for work during normal weeks. And at the moment, my work project is Sleepy Hollow by Glennon Place. That first week, I basically completely went to work. The flu started on Sunday, and now I'm more or less healthy once again. I'm back to work since Thursday, and therefore this one got nearly 2 weeks of travel project. And I'm not happy with the lighting. I think I have too much light from there. Let me check out a few things. I think it's better now. I just showed you a picture of what Sleepy Hollow looked like last time, and this is where I'm at now. So last time you saw it, I was still working on this part of the border, and since you saw it last, I finished off the pumpkins with orange stitches, started in a little bit on the next one over here, just to know where I have to start next, did all the back stitching, and then I moved on to the other side of the border. And over here, I finished out all the black, I finished out the skulls, and I'm close to finishing out the pumpkins. There's 1 out of 3 colors missing on those 2 pumpkins, and then I can start backstitching everything and bring, well, the border of the border further down and over. I have not done any cranach or beads because I'm not taking those with me to work. Whenever this one comes up to stitch on at home, I'm going to do that. But so far, I'm just leaving those cranach and beads out until I'm stitching on it at home, where I can actually do that a little bit easier. This is stitched on 28 count casual linen by Picture Plus in the colorway Haunted. I'm stitching 2/2 for crosses with anchor colors. This project is charted in Anchor. There is a conversion on there for Sullivan's USA and one for DMC, but basically it has been charted in Anchor. And Anchor is easier to get here in Germany than DMC is, so I decided to just go with the Anchor. And yeah, this is where I'm at. I'm really happy with how far I got. I am hoping that I will be able to finish this one until Halloween, which is 4 or 5 more months. So that should maybe be possible, but we will see about that. For the moment, I'm going to continue using it as travel stitching. I just have those few colors out of the border with me, and so far I think that works pretty well to get some nice progress in. So doing that. So next project I show you is Colorado Mountains by Golden Kite. This is my oldest project and therefore also my oldest full coverage project. And I stitched on this one on Monday, the first week I was away. I stitched on it on Monday and 2 more days during the week. And then I got sick. So the next Monday I wasn't able to stitch on this one. and basically wasn't for the whole week. I was supposed to stitch on that for quite a bit actually that week once again, but wasn't possible. So last Monday, no, on the 1st and 2nd of May, I got back to this one, because on the 1st of May was a Sunday and it had its 3-year birthday, so this project turned 3 years old. And on Monday I was supposed to stitch on it anyways for my oldest full coverage piece, so it got 2 more half days. I did not stitch the whole day on this one, both of those days, because Stitchmaynia had started, and I wanted to concentrate on my Stitchmaynia plans and projects, but I'm going to talk about that a little bit later and explain what I'm doing for Stitchmaynia. I think I mentioned it 2 videos back or something like that, but I'm going to explain it a little bit more today. So this is going to be the finished project, and I show a picture of what it looked like last time here. And this is where I got to. So I did a lot of progress, and I'm still not happy with the lighting. I'll be right back. Yeah, I'm still not super happy, but well, we'll go with it. I did a lot of progress on this one since you saw it last. Basically, that first week I was working on it, I finished the column that was started down here and did 2 more for a page finish. So yeah, just really happy with that. It's up here in the mountain, so the first 1 or 2 blocks were quite confetti heavy and really annoying, to be honest. But then down here in the forest, there are not a whole lot of colors, and it's kind of fast. You can see it. There's not a lot of threads parked in the next column. Here, where I'm still in the mountains, there's a ton of threads parked. So yeah, that's basically the gist of it. Down here, there's not super much confetti. But after I finished that page, 2 weeks later, when I stitched on this one next, I moved back up here into page number 6. So I can keep going with my diagonal pages. And I did, in 2 half days, I did 1 more column up here. Once again, really fast, because there's not a lot of confetti. Basically only a few colors, so it's really fast. This is stitched on 25 count even weave. I'm stitching 2 over 110 stitches, needleminders from Denker Designs. And I'm getting closer and closer to actually finishing this piece. Page 6 is the second to last page in the top row, and those pages aren't super big. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to finishing this project, which is my year-end goal. At the beginning of the year, I estimated I need about 30,000 stitches to finish this, and so far I did a bit more than 6,000. So 20% done of what I have to do this year. With all my golden kites. I mentioned it before. All my golden kites I stitched from paper patterns, because back when I bought them, I was really new to cross stitching. I think I was stitching for about a month before I decided I want to do full coverage and ordered those patterns. And because I had no clue about anything, I ordered the paper patterns. And it's fine. It works for me to work those from the paper patterns, because there are only 3 of them. But what I really like about Pattern Keeper is that it tells you how much you have already done percentage-wise. So with my golden kites, I decided to each project have a piece of paper with them. And that piece of paper, basically, I decided one of those squares on that square paper means it's 1 10 by 10 block. And Colorado Mountains, where did I put that? Colorado Mountains is 299 by 177 stitches. And I decided to just don't do partial squares and just draw the line at the exact square. And whenever I finish a 10 by 10 block, I mark it with an X. So you can see those diagonal pages, all those 10 by 10 blocks are done. And with that, I kind of easily can then do the math and figure out at what percentage I'm at at the moment. You can see up here, as I told you, there's not a whole lot left until I reach the right border. So I did the math this time around to just tell you with all of my projects. And Coloring Mountains at the moment is at 61.1% done. I'm getting closer and closer to finish. Not a whole lot left. As you can see, I'm more or less 2/3 through with the project. And yeah, really happy about that. So this is Coloring Mountains. Once again, the whole project. And yeah, can't wait to get back to this one today. Once again, only for a half day because I have to work. I have to edit and upload this video. I probably go for about half an hour, but I'll talk about that a bit more during my plan section or my Stitchmaynia Explains section. So yeah, that's Coloring Mountains. And I think for the next projects, I have to talk a bit less about my projects because I feel like my voice is giving out a bit. So we'll see about that. By the way, I'm sorry for any sniffling you can hear. I'm just not completely back to full health. So that has to happen. Okay, next project I stitched on, I think for the Woodgo project that was called during April, was the Chimney Sweep, also by Golden Kite. This is going to be the finished piece, and I show a picture of what it looked like last time. And this is where I got to. And once again, you probably can't see a lot of difference. That's just the way it is with this project. I'm stitching extreme cross country, going through the column on the first page, from top to bottom, left to right, picking the first symbol that's missing, and then completing it over the whole design. Since you said last, I finished one more column and picked the next one out here. So all of that is completely stitched, which is very exciting. Next time I come back to this one, I think I will pick a color down here because the first page cuts in about there and about here, I think. So I'm getting closer and closer to finishing that first page, which is very exciting. Yeah, probably a lot more stitches over here and a few more down here, which you probably can see. This is stitched on 25 count even weave in light blue, and I'm stitching 2/110 stitch. Needleminder is from Denker Designs. And yeah, I'm really happy with this project and how it turns out and how it looks. As I said, probably not super exciting for you, but for me it is. I really like stitching extreme cross country. I wouldn't do it with all of my projects, but this one is rather smallish. It has less than 52,000 stitches to be done. So I think it's possible to do extreme cross country on this one, and I enjoy it a lot. So I think I have now 9 colors finished and stitching on the 10th, and still it's just off-white colors. And there will be a few more off-white colors in here, but I'm slowly getting to the darker colors because, as you can see, that is that building in here. And I think those colors I'm going to choose next, those in here, are that piece over there. So they will get a bit darker. So yeah, really looking forward to that. But first I have to finish the one I still stitch on, which is another off-white. Yeah, so this is the Chimney Sweep, and the Chimney Sweep, let's put it away first, and then I show you my grid. The Chimney Sweep is 199 stitches wide and 261 stitches high. And even with only the one stitch being in the 10 by 10 block, I drew a whole square down here. So that's the grid, and as you can see, those are the finished 10 by 10 blocks. Especially up here in that first page, I already did a lot, and I'm really, really happy about that. So the first page cuts through the first half, or cuts through half of that next square, and I think it cuts down here or here. No, I think down here. So getting closer to finishing that first page. Still a ton of colors, and that's not going to happen anytime soon, but I'm getting closer. So with those 10 by 10 blocks all counted together, I'm at 16.5% done, which of course I have a lot more done, especially over here in those corners. There's a lot stitched, but a lot of those 10 by 10 blocks, then there's one stitch missing. So that doesn't count towards my percentage. But even only with those 10 by 10 blocks done, I'm already at more than 16% done, which is pretty cool. This one might be a good contender to finish next year. Would be amazing. So I'm really happy about any progress I make. And I'm getting close to finishing the first half of my year-end goal on this one, which is also exciting because we're getting close to half of the year being done. So getting to the halfway point of my goal is really nice. So that's the chimney sweep. And then the last project, no, not the last project, but my last golden kite I stitched on during that first week was the Norwegian ship under sail, the small edition. And with this one, I was supposed to stitch on it on Sunday. And this one is always a complicated piece and always a piece where I have to concentrate really hard to get any progress in. And on Sunday, I started to get an ache in my throat. And I did not feel super well. I basically just decided it was hay fever and a little bit of a throat ache, and it's going to be good all on Monday. But I still didn't feel like stitching a whole lot. So I think I did about 100 stitches on this one. So let me show you a picture of what it looked like last time here. And this is where I got to. So last time you saw it, I just finished this column. So this time I started down here and parked threads and finished those in the whole column, this color in the whole column, and then parked it into the next one. And yeah, so you can see a lot of confetti stitches basically over the whole column. And yeah, I think about 100 stitches. This is stitched on 18 count antique white Ada. I'm stitching 2 over 1 full crosses, needleminder from Denka Designs. And yeah, this is that. Really, really happy. So yeah, that's my Norwegian ship under sail. And for this one as well, I drew this sheet. So basically this one is 400 stitches wide and 278 stitches high. And as you can see, I did not do a lot yet. That one is crossed out because that was done by mistake. But yeah, I do not have a whole lot done yet on this one. I'm at 15.6%. It's not a lot, but I know this is a long time project just because it's so big and complicated. And I'm fine with that. But yeah, still will take some time. And I still have quite a bit to go to finish my next page over here before I then move down here for the next page. And they are 4 pages high, so I won't even reach the bottom. But, well, that's it. I'm still happy with this piece, and I'm still happy with just 100 stitches because I really wasn't feeling good on Sunday. And therefore, that's totally fine. And I know you can see the column lines. I can see them too, but I don't care. This, with the 18 count Ada, this is going to end up so big that I probably won't ever put it on my wall. I really do enjoy stitching it and I want to finish it, but I probably won't ever display it anywhere. So for me, it doesn't really matter that it's just not looking perfect. So yeah, that's that. And that's my Norwegian ship under sail. And then there's one more project I stitched on during that first week. So let me show you that one. And then we talk a little bit about how I felt during those few weeks. So that project was Raven Queen. I stitched on it on that first Tuesday because I stitch on my oldest non-full coverage piece on Tuesdays. And at the moment that's Raven Queen by William. So this is going to be the finished piece, and I show a picture of what it looked like last time here. And this is where I got to. So I actually stitched on it twice since we saw it last, because last week I also stitched on her on Tuesday. And at the moment I'm concentrating on this background over here, filling it in from left to right. I started with a little bit of the Krennic, and slowly but surely finishing that part of the background. There's some kind of stone pillar down here that I then will finish next. She stitched on 32 count gray linen. I'm stitching 2 over 2 full crosses. Needleminder from Denka Designs. And she's just really pretty. And I can't wait to have all this background and the border finished to actually start in on a dress, because that's gorgeous. Really, really gorgeous. And I just can't wait to stitch that. But yeah, here she is. My beautiful rainbow. And we talk about her a little bit more during the plant section as well. So all the rest I have here is basically everything I stitched on for Stitchmaynia. So let me first talk about how it all ended up with me being sick. As I said on Sunday, on that first Sunday, I started to get a little bit of a throat ache, and I decided it's going to be fine on Monday. I had to get up at 4:30, I think, to go for work, and I went to bed early because I had to get up early, and I did not sleep the whole night. So in the morning, when my alarm rang, I decided to call in at work and tell them I'm not coming. And I'm probably not coming on Tuesday either, because I really wasn't feeling good at that point. The throat ache got worse. I had a headache, and yeah, really not feeling well. And at my job, it's if I call in sick and it's 3 or less days, that's totally fine, and I can just decide that on my own. If it's more than 3 days, I have to bring a doctor's note. So on Monday I wasn't feeling well, and like really wasn't feeling well. And in the evening I decided the next day I'm going to visit a doctor, because I'm not ready to go back on Wednesday or Thursday to go back to work. That's just not going to happen. So on Tuesday I went to the doctor's, and basically she told me, well, you have laryngitis, and you're not allowed to speak for a week. What? So whenever I said something to her like thank you or goodbye, she always looked at me really angry because I really wasn't supposed to speak anymore. So the first Monday I just was feeling really bad and couldn't be on video because I was really sick. So I wanted to back the next Monday to show you everything I did. And I still wasn't allowed to speak that Monday. So no video again. I started to feel better by that point, and I went back to work on Thursday. So I thought, well, Thursday I have an early shift and I can do my video after my shift, because that kind of fits perfectly. I then just do a video on Thursday and then not for 1.5 weeks and be back on Monday. Just to be back and talk to you again, why I'm suddenly gone for such a long time. But after being at work and having to speak for quite some time, I just wasn't feeling up to it once again in the afternoon to do another video and talk for 45 minutes. So I just decided, okay, I'm going to wait until Monday and do it on Monday. And honestly, I'm still not feeling perfect, and my voice is not feeling perfect, but I really, really wanted to get back to talk to you. So, regarding my stitching, that first week of me being sick, I was really sick basically until Thursday. I did not stitch until Thursday. I did not move until Thursday. I just lay on my couch and watched TV because I wasn't feeling up to anything else. And I couldn't speak anyways. So on Friday, I was kind of feeling better and decided in the evening, well, I think I want to stitch a little bit. Not a whole lot, but I want to continue stitching and want to get back into the groove. But what do I stitch on? The week is basically over. There's no use to really do my rotation. And I really had one project in mind I really wanted to begin to stitch on. And that was the project that would have been the first for my Stitchmaynia. And I was like, no, it's still like the 29th of April or something like that. It's too early. Stitchmaynia only starts on Sunday. I don't want to stitch on that one yet. You know what? I'm going to take my tiny decisions wheel with my projects in there, and I just choose a random project. And the wheel chose the project I had in mind and the projects my Stitchmaynia would begin with. So I decided, well, the universe decided I'm going to start Stitchmaynia early. So what is my plan for Stitchmaynia? I think I told you 2 videos back, but never mentioned it again. Well, on Monday, I'm still stitching on my oldest full coverage project, but not for the whole day, about 30 or 60 minutes. Something like that. On Tuesday, I'm still going to stitch on my oldest non-full coverage project, but also only for about 30 to 60 minutes. And otherwise, I sorted all my projects into a list with how much stitches and how much time they're still missing until my year-end goal is done. And I sorted them with the projects being done the fastest on top of the list and the projects taking the longest time on the bottom of the list. So at the bottom, for example, there's Colorado Mountains because I still have 24,000 stitches to do on that one. That's at the bottom of the list. And then during Stitchmaynia, I start at the top of the list, take the first project, stitch on it until my year-end goal is done, and then I move on to the next project on the list and go through the list as long as Stitchmaynia or May takes, and see how many projects and how many goals I can get done during May. Hopefully a lot, because then moving forward I don't have a lot of projects left, and hopefully we'll be able to finish the goals on those faster, because there are just not as many projects anymore I have to choose from. So, a lot of talking. So, what was the first project I stitched on? Well, the first project, the closest one to being done with my year-end goal, was Super Size Max Color Cliffhanger. This one is artwork by Amy Stewart, charted by Haven and Designs, and this is going to be the finished piece. Let me show a picture of what it looked like last time you saw it here. And this is where I got to. So, really happy with this. Basically, since you saw it last, I finished this page completely. And then I choose randomly which page I'm going to stitch on next. I always take the ones directly next to the pages I have already stitched, and also the ones diagonally next to the ones I have already stitched. And my random wheel chose page 38, which is this one down here. So I started in the top left corner with a color. That was the first stitch in the corner, or the stitch in the corner, and it was also kind of over the whole piece. So I decided to just go with that, stitch it over the whole page, and then go back to the top of my color list, move through the color list, and the colors that are on this page, then stitch over the whole page. So I think so far I finished 4 colors already in this page. And I know those stitches are tiny. This is stitched on 40 count Newcastle linen, and I'm stitching 1/110 stitches. So yeah, as I said, tiny. This is a bobbin, and this is a page. So really tiny, but a lot of fun. So yeah, I do now have 7 pages finished and an 8th one started. And overall, this piece has 156 pages. I actually have a page list in here. Sorry. Yeah, let's do it like this. And I previously had it on the cover page, but as you can see, those holes just ripped off, and so I decided to do a new piece of paper in here. I wrote down all the pages, so the project is 12 pages wide, 13 pages high. And those are all the pages with their numbers. So whenever a new page is called, I mark it and then go to my Tiny Decisions app and put in the pages that are not yet in there yet. Then I finish the page, I color the square, choose the next page, and then once again mark it. So as you can see, there's a tiny bit in the top left corner started, and page 38 is marked because that one was the next called, and I'm now stitching on that one. Yeah, so that's basically how I do that with my cliffhanger. And I have now finished my year-end goal on this one. It was only 4,000 stitches, so I think this page was already started at the beginning of the year, and I just finished that and started the next one with a few more stitches. And I think I managed that on the 1st of May. So yeah, this is my cliffhanger. And basically with the beginning of May, I was feeling more or less fine. Once again, yeah, still quite a bit of sniffling and coughing, and the voice isn't perfect, but I was feeling way better and was able to stitch again. Which honestly, I was so bored. I had 4 or 5 days where I was feeling so bad. I could not do anything, just watch TV, and I was so bored with that. It was really, really annoying to be sick, which basically it always is. But yeah, I'm really happy. I'm feeling way better now, and I can go back to work and stuff. Yeah, I'm really happy about that. Okay, so the next project on my list was then Mini Cinderella, also by Heaven and Earth Designs. The artwork is by Alexandra Daw. This is going to be the finished piece, and I show a picture of what it looked like last time here. And this is where I got to. Really, really happy with this one. Since you saw it last, I did a ton. I think I did close to 3,000 stitches. I had it with me to night shift, I think, once or twice, and did a bit during that. And then I had about 2,500 stitches missing to finish my year goal. So I think I got close to 3,000 stitches on this one since you saw it last. I did a lot down here, up here, a lot in her hair and the upper part of her dress. A lot of the white in the background over here, which you probably cannot really see. And a lot of white over here, finished off this number. And did a bit more over here in the pumpkin as well. The mouse is getting into shape, standing on the pumpkin, getting closer to being done. So yeah, just did a lot, and I'm very happy with that one. This one is stitched on 28 count light blue even weave, and I'm stitching 1/1 for crosses. Needleminder from Denker Designs. Since you saw it last, I also finished 3 more pages. So I finished page number 2, page number 4, and page number 5. So the first page of the second row. The first row is completely done, and I finished the first page of the second row. With this one, I go from page to page, always pick the first color, left to right, top to bottom, that's missing, and do 1 length thread with that color. And then I move on to the next page and so on. But every time I come back to this page, to this piece, I start back up at the first page. And that's why page number 5 is already done. But yeah, I'm really in love with this. I think I'm at 60% with this one as well. There are about 16,000 stitches left to do, and I really hope to get to this one at the end of the year. Basically, my goal is to finish all my year-end goals. And if I do that very early in the year, or kind of early in the year, I want to concentrate on this one and finish this one before I move on to anything else. So, really hoping to get to that and maybe finish her this year. That would be pretty amazing, honestly. Really amazing. But we'll see about that. So far, I'm just really happy with what I did and how much I did on her. And now she's done, and she will be put away either for the rest of the year or until I have finished all my other goals. And honestly, a few of those still have a lot to be done on them, so it will take a while. Okay, the next project I then had on my list was Medicating Cruncher by Have Enough Designs. The artwork is by Hannah Lynn. So this is going to be the finished piece, and I actually finished my year-end goal on her yesterday. So this is the last project I stitched on, and yeah, she is done for the year as well. So let me show a picture of what it looked like last time here. And this is where I got to. So with her, I basically stitched in columns diagonally, and those columns are 1,100 stitches high until I reach the point where they get shorter, because I reached the top of the design. So I stitched 3 more columns over here until I reached the column where the column only was 4 squares, so 400 stitches high. And getting further to the right, the columns would have gone even smaller, and they would have been too small for me. I don't like stitching in 10 by 10 blocks on this piece, and it would be very similar to that, and I just decided 4 is the point where I then go back down and start another column 1,100 stitches high. So basically that's what I did. Did 3 more columns up here and then moved down. This column is only 1,000 stitches high because that's the bottom left corner. I'm at the bottom of the piece. So this next column next year will once again be the same height as this one, and then they will get then I will move up with the diagonal once again. But I'm so happy to have reached. Oh, sorry, my arm gets a little bit heavy. But I'm so happy to have reached that point. Basically, this next column, or this next very thick diagonal, will be a lot of that shark, and I'm just so happy about that. A few other colors, of course, and just getting to a big part of the design. It's called Medicating Cruncher because there's Katie and Cruncher. And so far, I basically just stitched on her and not really on the shark himself. So I'm just really happy to have started on the shark and moving upwards into the shark next time. So yeah, really excited about that. She stitched on 25 count even weave. I'm stitching 2/110 stitch, needleminders from Denka Designs. With the 25 count 2/110, especially with the black, you can see quite a bit of fabric showing through. I don't care necessarily, so I'm fine with that, but just as a warning if you think about doing the same thing. Yeah, I'm so happy. I'm really, really happy with her. She's now going to be packed away as well for the rest of the year. And yeah, but I'm just, well, this feels like a really big, checkpoint for this piece to have moved down into the next big chunk. So I'm just really happy about that. Yeah. Okay. That's that. And I have way too much fabric, as you can see. As I said, this is the bottom of the piece, and there's a ton of fabric down here left. For the moment, I'm going to leave it on here because it helps me stitch when there's still quite a bit of a roll to hold while stitching. So I'm going to leave it there for at the moment, and when I'm done, I'm going to cut it down, if I know what I want to do with it. Okay, so as I said, that's the last project I stitched on during my, or since you saw me last, which has been 3 weeks. So now I have 2 projects with me to show you that are the next on the list to stitch on until I have finished my year-end goal on those. So yeah, let me show those to you, which are basically my plans. I'm going to stitch today. I'm going to stitch probably half an hour on Colorado Mountains before I move on to my main project. Tomorrow I'm going to stitch about half an hour on Raven Queen before I move on to my main project. And then I'm just going to stitch on my main project until my year goal is finished and I move on to the next one. And I should be back next Monday with my next video. So the first main project I have is Dragon Dancer. Also Heaven and Earth Designs and artwork by Anne Stokes. This is going to be the finished piece. I show you where I'm at with that one. This is where I'm at. With this one, I stitch cross country per page, taking the first color missing in the first column, top to bottom, left to right, and stitching it over the whole page before I move on to the next color. But I don't stop at the page break. I just continue until the thread runs out. Yeah, so this is stitched on 32 count, 2 over 1 10 stitches. And yeah, I'm presently up here in this page and I have, I think, 5,400 stitches missing until I have finished my year-end goal. So hoping to finish that page, but I'm not sure if that's going to happen, but that would be cool. Yeah, that's my Dragon Dancer. So far it's just blurry background, it's not super exciting. I think the exciting part starts in this page down here. So this page to finish, this page to finish. And then we start with the exciting part. But yeah, probably not going to happen this year. But this is going to be the first project I stitch on and I'm really excited to get going on this one. I really do love this project. The colors are amazing. They're always super washed out in the video. In real life, they're really pretty pinks and purples and yeah. So I'm really excited to get going on that. And the next project after Dragon Dancer is finished, because I think I can manage to finish my goal on Dragon Dancer this week. And then the next piece will be Royal Games number 2 by Mirabilia. So I show a picture of what it looked like. I show you what it looks like right now with the actual project and not a picture. So this is where I'm at with this one. And my year-end goal for this is to finish it. So I have to then do all of that. Probably going to take me more than a week. So my next videos are probably not super exciting. But I still hope to finish this one soonish. I'm a little bit worried about starting to stitch on this project because the last 2 times I stitched on it, I wasn't feeling it at all. So I really do hope that when I'm concentrating on it and only stitching on this project, I actually do feel like stitching on it and make good progress and not do 1 length of thread and do something else because I don't want to stitch on it. Do 1 length of thread and do something else. So it's going to be super slow. I would love to finish it kind of quickly to get a move on my next project then. This is stitched on 32 count white over and linen. I'm stitching 2 over 2 full crosses. Needleminder from Denka Designs. And yeah, still quite a bit to do. I have to finish basically the whole queen down here. So it will take some time to finish that one. But I hope to get at least started until my next video. Okay. I think that's it. I showed you everything. I think I told you everything I wanted to tell you. I think so. So I'm signing off. Hopefully getting to edit and upload this video so I can actually then get started with some stitching. And again, I'm really sorry for not being there any sooner. I just couldn't. Was just not possible. But I hope you enjoyed the video. I plan to be back on a weekly basis. Yeah, it just life. Yeah, and I hope you enjoyed the video. And I will see you next time. Bye.